do today and help you understand a little bit more of what potential there is utilizing SEO. All right? So here, real quick, just to completely make your eyes roll over, now that it's 3:30, you've had lunch, 3:30 Eastern time right now, and you've had lunch, so you're probably ready to fall asleep. I'm going to throw out some algebra at you right now. In essence, what you're seeing here is the calculation that we use to predict sales utilizing SEO. What X represents is the total market size, what Y represents is the industry conversion rate, and what C represents is how many of those people are going to actually take action with your firm or company. And K is then the percentage that it takes of leads to sales. Now, I know right now this is not what you want to be seeing, but what I'm trying to help you understand is that if we multiply what the total market size is by whatever your typical conversion rate of the industry. So if 100 people come onto your site and 1 in 100 people will turn into a phone call, or will click on your link to come to your site, you have a 1% conversion there. You multiply that by the number of times people come onto your site and then take action. Maybe that's another 1%. So let's say we had 1,000 people, we're now down to 1 individual that actually is going to pick up the phone and call you or fill out a form. If you then divide that by how many leads you need in order to land a sale, that's what you're going to get as far as sales go. And so with inbound marketing, what we are able to do now is look at certain levels of search and trends in search out there and predict and say if there's 1,000 people searching on this term, if I had a #1 ranking or #2 ranking, I can expect X amount of dollars in sales. And so then you just walk it back and say, what does it take to get to that level of rankings in order to fill that sales funnel? And that's what we're trying to do here. The 0.5 at the bottom, that's the reality check that I like to throw in. It's just, we always tend to think a little bit bigger than whatever we can actually achieve. And so just try to cut it in half. All this is available afterwards as well. Happy to provide this to anyone. And again, I know your eyes are probably rolling over right now looking at math on here, but this is all going to make a lot more sense as we get a little bit further into it. So as we look at potential markets that are out there, whether it's search or just online in general, these are the different areas, elements that are available to us online. We have organic search, paid search, email marketing, local search, online videos, conversion optimization, social media, and then advertising networks. Everybody's probably familiar with everything on there except for maybe conversion optimization. We can talk about that in a second, but that's basically if somebody comes onto your site, let's say you have 100 people coming on and only 1 person actually turns into a phone call, an email, selling a product on there. Conversion optimization is optimizing that experience so that you take it from 1 to 2. Or from 2 to 20, etc., that type of thing. So if you look at this, in particular, we're going to look at organic search today. You can see that organic search is a very strong place to generate new leads. The ramp-up time, though, can take a while. It's not something that you can flick a switch or pay Google or Yahoo or Bing, and all of a sudden now you're going to get traffic coming in. That's with paid search, but not with organic search. Financial investment, theoretically, could be next to nothing. You could throw up a web page and start to get traffic naturally just because it's on the web and Google's ranking you and crawling your site, and so you have people coming onto it. The one thing with organic search is, though, it is a time investment. It's not something that you're going to be able to spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and put a little bit of time into it and then expect huge returns at the bottom on your bottom line. It just doesn't happen with organic search. If you look at that term, organic search, it suggests something that is natural, and typically it's something that's going to come with time. And so those are key elements that you need to understand as you get into organic search. There are no, as much as there's some people that want to paint it, there are no silver bullets in organic search. There's nothing out there that if you just pay this person X amount of dollars, all of a sudden you're going to have the secret into how to get to the top of these searches. Now there's a lot of processes, there's a lot of tips, there's all those things that you can be doing on your site. But there's no secrets out there. There's no secret bullets that are available. This is something that takes time, it takes effort, and it takes quality work going into it in order to get a quality return at the end of the day. We're going to talk about some of that quality a little bit further into this. So let's take a high-level look at search. just search in society in general. If we look at inbound marketing, because that's what search is, if you understand the concept behind inbound marketing, it's instead of us having to buy radio ads, TV ads, and try to hit a large number of people, and then hope that within that large number, a subset of them are actually going to be looking for our product, and that they're going to be attracted to what we're doing, and then they're going to take that course of action, which is totally different than the reason they're doing what they're doing at that moment. Example, you're watching television and a commercial comes on. Commercials can be a very effective ways to generate new business. But you're taking somebody and you're interrupting their time right then with the commercial, something that may have no application to them. You might be selling snow shovels, which for me, in Northeast Ohio is a valuable thing right now. But if I live in Florida and I see an ad for a snow shovel, that has nothing to do with me. And so with inbound marketing, the difference is now instead of us going out there and finding people, they're finding us based on their needs. And if you take a second and think about that, what that means for marketers, that means you have people that are lining up, theoretically, are lining up to get what you have to offer. And you could quantify that with whatever intent they have behind their searches. If they type in something like snow shovels, they might be looking for information on snow shovels. They might be, excuse me, one second here. They might be looking for information on snow shovels. But they also might be looking at how do I manufacture snow shovels? How do I do all these different types of things? As opposed to something like snow shovels for sale. There's much more buyer intent behind that. And that's what inbound marketing is allowing us to do more and more. We can start to quantify exactly reasons why people are looking for something that we're selling, and then even alter our marketing around them, as opposed to continually shooting in the dark and saying, you know what, I think this print piece that we just mailed out in March, I think it did well, but maybe if we move this up to the top and do this, and then we spend another $10,000 to send out to another group of people, we'll see if we get better returns. This hit and miss philosophy has to change, and online marketing, particularly search, has the ability to do that. Additionally, what search allows us to do is get insights into into what our prospects want to do and what our buyers want to do. Why are they typing in, using snow shovels again as an example, why are they typing in blue snow shovels, or why are they typing in metal snow shovels more than they are plastic snow shovels? There's a reason behind that. And if we can dig away at that, if we can pull the onion apart, we can start to see exactly what these people are doing and alter our messaging around their needs and ultimately sell more products, sell more services. So what does this mean to us? Because inbound marketing has taken huge leaps in search, we now have the ability to see this type of data. We actually can boil down the reasons why people are doing what they're doing down to metrics. That's never been done in human history, and this is amazing. This can be amazing things for our company. We can understand buyer intent. We spoke about that. And to a lesser degree, we can also figure out maybe just when buyers are curious or when they're starting to go down the process of, you know what, I really heard that this type of insurance might be a good type of insurance for my business, but I really don't know too much about it, so let me do some research. And in that process of doing research, they come to find experts in that field, and maybe you're one of them. And so they come on, they find your site, they find that you're an expert in the field, and they pick up the phone and call you. So maybe they didn't have the intent to buy something at that moment, but they had some curiosity, and you had the ability to convert that person into actually picking up the phone or filling out a form for you. So then, if search engines and organic search are this really important thing that I'm saying that they are, how do we start to take advantage of that? And that's where SEO steps in. SEO stands for search engine optimization. A lot of people understand that. They know that. But in essence, what it is placing your business in front of individuals who are in a buying process for products and services you sell. Right? That's, we can start to throw out these three-letter abbreviations. We could, try to sound fancy with search engine optimization and all these different terms that I could start throwing out to you. But at the end of the day, ultimately, we want our business in front of individuals who are qualified and ready to buy our products and services. And that's all that SEO is doing. It's just helping you fine-tune that. It's helping you take it from a shotgun down to a sniper rifle. here's where organic search appears for most people. We have up in the top, you've got the yellow area. Those are the paid searches. And then in the red circle, those are organic searches. Those people that are on there in those places, I use the plastic injection molding as the search term for this one. These individuals did not pay for those terms to be up there. These terms came up there free of charge, in a sense, free of charge from Google. Google's goal is to have the most qualified information. It's in their best interest. It's in their best interest to put the best search, the best web pages in front of people for their specific searches. And they do that through an algorithm, and we'll get into that in a second. But what you're seeing here, this is what we're talking about as far as organic search. Everything around the size, etc., that's all a separate conversation with paid search. What we're looking at is the organic search. And the thing with organic search is that it performs better than paid search as far as conversion rates go. But here's the key concept to understand behind organic search. Google search is purely an algorithm. That's all that it is. The three things that Google does, and they do better than probably anybody else in the world, is they crawl portions of the web. You know, you might think you're searching the entire web when you're on Google, but you're not. You're searching what Google has put into their index. And it's huge and massive, but it's still limited to what Google has. It then indexes these pages, and then it presents these pages to people based on the keywords that they search on. And they do that through this algorithm to bring the best pages up for individuals. That's all Google does, and it's just an algorithm. So then we say if it's just an algorithm, then there should be a way to understand the algorithm and get our pages to the top, to get our sites in front of people, and there is. Here's the three things that determine whether a site is ranked. Number one is relevancy. So how relevant is your web page to the searches that people are actually searching on? How popular is it? How many people are linking to your site and saying that this is a credible source? And then is your site even accessible to Google and to users? If you have a site that's built primarily in Flash, so Flash is a technology that Adobe owns. So it has no text base, it's all image based, etc. Google can't crawl that, it can't access it, and so you're not going to rank for certain terms. But these are the three primary areas that are taken into consideration for all rankings. So before you start down this path and you say, okay, well, I understand there's a market there. Inbound marketing is where marketing's going now. I like the metrics behind it, that I understand if I invest X amount of dollars into this and there's these types of trends out there, I should be able to achieve this sales goal at the end of the day. Let's start moving on it. Well, and that's what we found, and that's one of the biggest the stop signs that we throw up in front of people when we go down this path, is before you get started, you got to stop and think. And the first thing you have to do is research. Well, we found a lot of clients that have come to us that have worked with other firms in the past. They put together a list of keywords that they wanted to go after from their point of view, and didn't do any research in advance to see, are people even searching on these terms? When I say a certain term like SEO, then our company sells SEO services, right? So I might want to rank for SEO, but is that what the average person that's buying my product is actually searching on when they go to Google? And so I could have all these awesome buzzwords for my business. I could sound like the smartest person in the world, but if the user is not searching on those terms, it doesn't matter to you. All you're doing is wasting your time. And so before you get started, you have to do your research. You do that through looking at your current site. If you don't have Google Analytics installed or some other type of analytical program installed on your site right now, you need to make that happen. That's going to give you information as far as what people are searching on now and then finding your site for. Critical. First thing that we always recommend. Next is use common sense. Talk to your sales guys and ask them, what type of, if we had to put terms out there, what do you think the person that you just had a meeting with, what do you think they would search on for Google if they wanted to find our type of product? You need to understand niche keywords too. So what that means is you need to find keywords that people are searching on, but maybe there's not high levels of search, but there's extremely low levels of competition. You might have, let's say you have a business where it's high price tag, low volume type of business. A lot of B2Bs fall within that. And so if you're happy, if you get 10 leads over the course of the month and you can make 2 sales, but those sales amount for $500,000 a piece, that could be very strong for you. And so finding a keyword that's only searched on maybe 10 times a month could be exactly what your company needs in order to generate $12 million more in gross sales at the end of the year. So that's what I mean when I say find niche keywords. Find those keywords that you don't have to go up a ton of competition against, you can get faster rankings for, and you can start to generate leads quicker. And then last is use keyword research tools. Google has one that they use for their paid search side, but it's just as applicable for the organic search side. Find out what people are searching on. What we found is when we present our reports to clients before they get started and can see what levels of search are actually happening for their industry, they've actually changed their entire marketing departments around that. They might think that people are using this certain terminology when they're trying to find their products and find that they're not using anything of the like. And so in order to position themselves in front of their clients and prospects better, they need to start changing the terminology within their own organization. And so that's why I recommend use a keyword tool before you start this. Now you've got once you have your strategy in place, once you have your research in place, what you need to do is develop a plan that allows for content to be created on a regular basis. All Google is it indexes content. It indexes text, it indexes videos, and associated text with those images, associated text with those as well. But that's all that it is. It's just cataloging things. And so content has become the driver when it relates to the search engines. So you need to be coming up with creative ways to constantly be pushing out content. Now we understand though, when you're in a B2B world, you may not want to share all that information with the general public, with competitors, etc. So you need to be able to do this in a creative way that protects your brand, protects your IP, but it also satisfies the needs of the search engine. It's not always a simple thing to do, but it is possible. You also need to work on natural link building. Many B2Bs are in a world where they have associations, they have vendors, they have large clients, etc., that want to link back and forth, and those can be excellent places to get some links from. And very easy. Pick up the phone, ask somebody, or ask your IT guy to contact someone. Next is understand that SEO, once you start down this path, it's not a once-and-done situation. You can't just say, okay, hey, go do the SEO on my site and then report back to me in the month, and then just stop. That's not how this works. It's an ongoing process. It's a nurturing process of your site that ultimately can turn into an extremely high level of sales for your business. It needs to be it needs to be handled accordingly. You can't expect to spend $500 and generate $12 million in sales. You might as well go play the lottery at that point. SEO is no different. People might play this off as this is something that you can just do a little bit of time and, hey, organic search is free, so I should be able to just generate all these sales for no cost. That's not how anything else in the world works, and so don't expect that to all of a sudden apply to SEO. So here's some specific tips for B2Bs to be aware of as you're approaching SEO. Focus your content around your prospect's pain. So and the reason for this is twofold. If not only does it position your company in a way that you're selling based on the solutions that you provide and not just on a bunch of, hey, this is why we think we're the best. You're selling around their needs, their pain. And when you do that and you can create content around that, naturally when someone goes to a search engine, they're going to type in one of two things when it relates to your business. One, they're either going to type in your brand name, and you should already be ranking for your brand name. If your company is an XYZ company, and when someone searches for XYZ company, you should be coming up #1 for that. However, if someone's typing something they've never heard of your brand, you're brand new to them, and this is an entry point for them, having an article written about, so if we're selling snow shovels to, we're a mass producer of snow shovels. We want to find out that we want to find the people that are having trouble with their current suppliers of snow shovels. Walmart, maybe their buyer is looking right now for a new place to find snow shovels because the last one can't deliver on time, they can't provide the pricing they want, whatever it might be. I'm just using hypothetical here. And so what would that buyer be searching on Google if they wanted to find a new supplier? maybe they might type on, you know, snow shovel supplier. But maybe they're searching for things other than that. Maybe they're searching for things like remedying supply side, remedying snow shovel supply issues, whatever that might be. And you try to position yourself in front of those. Not only does that help you with those individuals, it also tells Google that you're relevant for those types of searches. And remember, relevancy is the #1 thing with Google. Next step is create clear call to action. Don't just have a contact us page. It doesn't do you any, it'll help you, it'll be okay, but if you're not leading these people to water when they're on your site, you're missing it. And that's what we found with a lot of B2B sites. They put the contact us button up on the right-hand side. Maybe they have the phone number on there somewhere, but that's it. There should be some compelling reasons for this person to take the next step. They came to your site, they saw something, now what should they do? And you need to walk them through that. Don't expect that just anyone that comes on their site is going to do that. You want them to follow through when they're there at that moment. You want them to be making an emotional decision at that point, just to pick up the phone, and you can handle the sale after that. So don't just have a contact us. You should be having call-outs on the right-hand side, left-hand side, within the text that talk about, have questions, give us a call, and then the phone number is right there with a picture of a representative. That's one example. If with snow shovel supplies that we have an issue, there's maybe a top 10 list or a white paper on problems that you guys have studied and found snow shovel suppliers have had issues with in the past. And so you create these types of white papers, etc., in order to attract people. And that's getting into this one. So our next tip is create smaller sales. So you may be selling phenomenal products, phenomenal services, high price tags, but that may be too much for that person at the time. They might be just in the curiosity portion of their buying decision. And because of that, it's helpful to be including things like newsletters, white pages, things that you can offer that have a very easy ability to replicate themselves, doesn't cost you a ton of money to continue to distribute these, but that you can ask for in return contact information. And then proceed down your drip marketing campaigns, whether that's through email, through phone calls from your sales reps, etc., that type of thing. You want to do all that without spilling your candy. And what I mean by that is don't give away the store and how you fix problems and all your details for your competitors and all that kind of stuff just for the sake of search engines. I don't care what it is. It's not worth losing your IP over getting more traffic onto your site. It's just not. So be careful what you say out there. But there's a lot of ways to say it and that you can still protect yourself. Next, take a look at your site from the user and technical standpoint. So when a user comes onto the site, you should be doing surveys from the general public. Ask some of your clients, both good clients and maybe smaller clients, and ask them what it is about their site that they like. What do they not like? And then from a technical standpoint, there's elements on there that could be preventing search engines from fully indexing your site. Remember, all Google does is crawl websites, index them, and then present them to the public. And if your site is throwing up barriers that prevents Google from indexing your site in whatever the best way possible is, then you're missing out on some opportunities. You're letting competitors beat you. We have on our site, if you go to company119.com/resources, there's a readiness checklist. And this is a quick checklist that you can go through. It's some technical things. You may need your IT guy involved. If you don't have those types of resources available, you can contact us. We'll be happy to help you. But if you go on the site, company119.com/resources, at the bottom, you're going to see a readiness checklist. And you can go through this checklist and see if your site is throwing up barriers to Google. Is it preventing Google from really giving your site the best shot possible in these rankings? A lot of times it's technical things that get in the way. And so that checklist is right on there for you to check, for you to take a look and use at your disposal. So that's what I have on my side here. What questions, if any, does everybody have as it relates to this? I know it's pretty high level, so you might have some specific questions as well that you want to go over, and I'm happy to take them. If not, that's okay too. Going once, twice. Okay, Josh. My website for our company is right at the bottom. Phone number's right there. My extension is 109 if anybody has any questions they want to talk to me specifically. If I can't answer questions, somebody in our organization can. More than happy to help. Let us know. We're here to help you guys. Well, everybody have a great day, and hopefully this was beneficial for you and good use of your 30 minutes.